All right, everyone, get ready for a deep dive. We're going all in on Severance today.
Ooh, Severance.
Yeah, that Apple TV Plus show,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that's got people buzzing, right?
Yeah, it's really intriguing.
It is, and we've got a ton of stuff to go through.
Mm.
Character descriptions, plot summaries, even some critic reactions to this show.
Sounds like fun.
It is, and just the basic premise, just the idea of it is so wild.
Mm.
It's a world where you can totally ditch your work stress at the office.
Oh.
Because your work memories are just totally separate from your personal life.
Oh, wow.
Talking work-life balance.
Right. Oh, that's an interesting concept. Yeah. It's a fascinating concept, and the show plays with it in such a way that it's both funny and kind of creepy.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, you can just clock out and completely forget about those TPS reports.
Right.
But on the other hand, what does that kind of separation do to someone's identity?
Yeah.
You know, big questions the show asks.
It does. It really dives right into that. And it's
Yeah.
doing something right, for sure.
Yeah.
Because the show's got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes
Wow.
and an 83 on Metacritic. So
Oh.
critics are loving it.
That's great.
Yeah. But before we go full spoiler mode, let's just kind of set this stage.
Yeah, good idea.
Lay the groundwork.
Okay, so we're in this world where people can undergo this procedure called severance.
Mm.
It surgically divides their consciousness.
Whoa!
Yeah, so you've got your innie, right?
Any.
Well, the personality that only exists at work,
Okay.
and your outie,
The Audi?
the one who lives their life outside of work.
Outside of those mysterious office walls.
Yeah,
So it's like having a work persona
yeah,
and a personal persona, but like totally amplified.
exactly. Yeah, it's like on steroids or something.
Yeah.
So the show focuses on this group of employees at Lumon Industries, Macro Data Refinement Division.
Macro Data Refinement Division.
And what they actually do is kind of a mystery. They sort numbers into digital folders on these like old computers. But the bigger picture, the why behind it all, it's something they're completely oblivious to.
Corporate secrecy.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued already.
It's good stuff.
Okay. So who are these people?
Yeah.
Who are these brave souls navigating this severed world?
So our main guy is Mark Scout,
Mark Scout.
played by Adam Scott. You might know him from Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
He brings that same kind of dry humor to this role.
Love him.
Yeah, so Mark is a former history professor who chose to undergo severance after this, like, personal tragedy.
Oh, okay.
So he's dealing with some heavy stuff.
Yeah. In his Audi life.
Right.
What about his work friends?
His work buddies.
Yeah. Are they all as mysterious as their job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They each have their own quirks. So you've got Dylan,
Dylan.
played by Zach Cherry,
Okay.
and he is all about the perks of
Mm.
being severed, you know.
Okay.
Awful parties, finger traps.
Oh,
The guy's just living his best life.
yeah.
Then you have Irving, played by John Turturro,
Okay.
who is a total stickler for the rules.
No.
Oh, yeah. This guy's like sleeping with the Lumen employee handbook. But he also has like a softer side to him. He develops this kind of forbidden romance with Bert.
Bert.
Yeah, a guy from another department,
Okay.
played by, wait for it, Christopher Walken.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
That is not a casting choice I saw coming.
It's so good.
But I love it.
It's genius casting.
Yeah.
But then things get really interesting when Helly Riggs arrives.
Okay.
She's the new employee, played by Britt Lower.
Hmm.
And let's just say she is not a fan of the whole severance thing.
The Rebel.
Yes.
I like her already.
Yeah. She shakes things up, for sure.
Okay.
And as if things weren't strange enough already.
Right.
We've got Mark's boss, Harmony Cobell.
Harmony Cobell.
Yeah, played by Patricia Arquette.
Oh, wow.
She's got this whole double life going on outside of work. And then there's the ever so creepy supervisor, Seth Milchick,
Seth Milchick.
played by Trammell Tillman,
Okay.
who always seems to be lurking in the shadows.
It sounds like everyone at Lumen is hiding something.
Yeah,
This is going to be quite a deep dive.
that's a wild ride.
So we've got these characters, right?
Yeah.
And they're working at these super secret jobs.
Mm.
But their innie selves are totally clueless about their lives outside Lumen.
Right. Yeah, it's like they step into the elevator and poof,
Gone.
outside memories are just gone. Like they know nothing
Everything.
about their family or friends or their hobbies.
It's a blank slate.
A total blank slate. And that's when things start to get really, really interesting.
Oh, okay. So what happens? What happens when these innies start to question their reality?
Well, Helly, remember,
yeah.
our resident rebel.
Yeah.
She's the first one to really push the boundaries.
Okay.
She's desperate to escape.
Right.
This whole severed existence and all her attempts to reach her outie self lead to some pretty intense consequences.
I bet that doesn't go over well with Lumon management.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No. Her defiance triggers a whole chain of events that puts everyone on edge.
Oh.
And meanwhile, Mark starts finding these strange things in his outie life.
Like what?
Like hidden messages, coded maps. It's like pieces of his innie life are bleeding into his outside world.
Ooh, good old-fashioned mystery.
Yeah.
I love it. What about Irving and Bert?
Oh, our Lumon lovebirds.
Yeah.
Well, their connection deepens,
Okay.
and they start uncovering secrets about Lumon's true purpose.
So there's more to this company than just sorting numbers into folders?
Oh, there's definitely something bigger going on. And as Irving and Bert get closer to the truth, things get pretty dangerous for them and everyone around them.
Okay, now I'm really invested.
Good.
But with all this secrecy and intrigue, is there anyone that we can actually trust in this show?
Well, that's the thing about Severance.
Yeah.
It keeps you guessing. I mean, even characters like Harmony Cobell, who seems like, your typical corporate boss lady. She's got all these layers of complexity that keep you on your toes.
Okay.
And don't even get me started on Seth Milchick, the creepy supervisor.
Right.
I mean, he's like the embodiment of corporate surveillance with a smile.
Ugh, yeah, I know the type.
It's creepy. But despite all the creepiness and mystery, the show still manages to be funny.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the humor comes from like these absurd situations and the characters' reactions to them.
Okay.
I mean, imagine working in a place where you don't even know what you're doing or why you're doing it.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of comedic potential there.
It's like finding humor in the darkest of places.
Exactly. And the show is full of these little moments that catch you off guard and make you laugh.
Yeah.
Even when you're feeling totally creeped out. It's a tough balance.
Yeah.
But Severance pulls it off.
Okay, so it's funny, it's creepy, it's got a stellar cast. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about work and identity. I mean, what's not to love?
Right.
What are the critics saying? Besides, like, those amazing Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic scores.
Well, critics have been raving about Severance. I mean,
Yeah.
since the first season, but the praise for season 2 has been even more effusive.
Wow. Really?
Yeah,
They managed to up the ante.
I think so.
Wow. I'm impressed. Okay, what are some of the highlights? Like, what are the critics saying?
Well, Allison Herman from Variety, she gave season 2 a perfect score.
Wow.
Called it a masterful management of its dual storylines.
Mm.
The intimate character drama and then this like surreal corporate nightmare. She praised the show for its deceptive ease in fulfilling its promises.
I love that deceptive ease.
Yeah.
It makes it sound so complex, but also engaging at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And John Nugent from Empire, he gave it 4 out of 5 stars,
Okay.
praising its expansion of the original mysteries, while also introducing new ones. He described it as sharply made and skillfully executed, saying the rewards are there if you stick with it.
Yeah. I think sharply made and skillfully executed sums up the show perfectly.
Yeah, I think so too.
But what about the plot twists?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tease anything without giving too much away?
Well, season 2 picks up right where season 1 left off,
Okay.
with the innies attempting to break free from Lumon's control.
Okay.
And let me tell you, things get wild.
I bet they do. So the indies actually make contact with the outside world. Like, how does that even work?
The show finds these incredibly clever ways
Yeah.
to bridge those seemingly impossible boundaries. I mean, remember, these innies are essentially trapped in this digital prison,
Right.
but they find loopholes in the system, and the results are both hilarious and terrifying.
I am on the edge of my seat. Give me something else. Give me some more.
Okay, how about this? We learn more about Lumon's mysterious founder, Keir Egan, and his philosophy, which plays a crucial role in the company's practices.
Ooh, a creepy corporate cult. I'm in.
Yeah, it's definitely got those vibes. And on the outie side of things, Mark's life gets a lot more complicated, and his sister Devin plays a key role
Okay.
in helping him piece together the truth about Lumon.
Oh, so it's like a giant puzzle box
Yeah.
where all the pieces are slowly starting to fit together. But are we getting any answers or just more questions?
Well, Severance is a masterclass in building suspense. It gives you just enough answers
Okay.
to keep you hooked,
Okay.
But then it throws in another twist that leaves you wanting more.
Okay, so it's a roller coaster ride of mystery, intrigue, and dark humor all wrapped up in this beautifully crafted world. But what is it about Severance that makes it so unique? What sets it apart from other sci-fi shows?
Well, for one, it's not your typical dystopian future. I mean, the world of Severance feels strangely familiar, even mundane in some ways. It's not all flying cars and laser beams, and I think that's what makes it so unsettling.
Okay.
It's a world that feels just a few steps removed from our own reality.
Like a warped reflection of our own anxieties about work and technology.
Exactly. The show taps into those fears we all have about being consumed by our jobs, about losing ourselves in the pursuit of productivity, but it does it in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Yeah. And let's not forget the show's incredible attention to detail. Everything from the stark office design to the bizarre corporate rituals. It all contributes to this feeling of unease and intrigue.
Right. It's a world where the mundane becomes sinister, where the line between work and life is blurred beyond recognition. And that's what makes Severance so captivating. It forces us to confront these uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world that we've created.
It's not just entertainment. It's social commentary disguised as a workplace thriller.
Exactly. And it does it all with a healthy dose of dark humor and genuine heart. I mean, these characters, as messed up as their situation is, you can't help but root for them.
Right.
You know, you want them to break free, reclaim their memories and their identities.
I think that's what makes Severance so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a show that can make you laugh 1 minute and then leave you questioning everything the next. It's funny, it's creepy, it's thought-provoking. It's just a true gem of a show.
Okay, so we talked about the characters, the crazy plot twists, the critics are loving it, and that mix of humor and horror that just makes you want to keep watching. But what about the deeper stuff? What are those big philosophical questions this show is wrestling with?
I mean, you could totally say that Severance is like a giant thought experiment about work, you know, and the way it affects our sense of self. We spend so much of our lives working. But what happens when that work just takes over so completely that it literally splits us into two different people?
Yeah, it's a pretty scary thought, you know?
Especially in today's world where it feels like work and life are already so blended together.
Exactly, yeah. And Severance really takes that idea to an extreme. It makes ask those tough questions about, like, where's the line? Where's the ethical line between work and life? Is work-life balance even possible when our memories, like our very selves, can be messed with and separated like that?
Yeah, it's like this reflection of our own anxieties about work-life balance, right? About burnout and just this constant pressure to always be on.
Exactly. And it makes you think about what work does to us, to our mental and emotional health. And the role of technology in all of this. Like, how is technology being used to, you know, control people, manipulate workers, and what are the long-term effects of that?
Right. There's a lot to think about there.
Yeah.
But it's what makes this show so interesting. It's not just mindless entertainment. It makes you really think about the world we're creating.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just about work either. It's about identity. It's about consciousness. Like, what makes us who we are? Our memories, our experiences, our relationships. What happens when all that stuff gets broken up or manipulated?
It's like that age-old question. You know, if you could just erase the bad stuff that happened to you, would you?
Right.
And what would even be left of you if you did that?
That's such a good way to put it. And there are no easy answers to that. But Severance doesn't shy away from those complicated questions.
It doesn't. And I think that's why it feels so relevant right now, you know? It speaks to those deep fears and anxieties we all have about technology, about corporate control, about the future of work. But it also manages to be entertaining and thought-provoking all at the same time.
Absolutely. It's a show that sticks with you, you know, the kind that makes you have those late-night conversations about the big stuff in life. And isn't that what great art is supposed to do? Make you think, make you feel something, maybe even see the world a little differently.
Totally. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive on Severance, what are your final thoughts for our listener? What should they be thinking about after joining us in this world?
Well, first of all, I hope they just enjoy the ride. Severance is such a well-made show. It has so much to offer. The mystery, the intrigue, the humor, the creepiness, and just some really genuine moments of human connection.
Yeah.
But I also hope it makes people think about work in their own lives, how technology affects them, and the choices they're making in a world that just demands more and more of our time and energy.
It's a good reminder that we have the power to shape our own futures,
Yeah.
both as individuals and together. And maybe, just maybe, there's still some hope for finding that balance.
Ooh, I like that. Finding hope even in a corporate dystopia. And who knows what's next for Severance? So many unanswered questions, so much more to explore. I can't wait to see what happens in the next season.
Me too.
Yeah.
It really is an amazing show.
Yeah.
Well, a huge thank you to you for joining us on this deep dive into Severance. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
The pleasure was all mine. There's always something new to uncover in this show, and I'm sure we'll revisit it sometime in the future.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, if you haven't already, go check out Severance on Apple TV Plus out CD. You won't be sorry you did. And until next time, stay curious and try to keep those work-life boundaries in place.